Yes, here we are. The High Noon Hemp Show. We're here every Wednesday on the old Facebook, on the Hemptations Beach page. I'm, of course, your host, Joe Claire, and the man himself, high above hemp quarters in Sharonville, is Beach. Beach, how are things at hemp quarters?
The high above the hemp quarters, indeed, things are very well. I suppose we're doing good. They are very hempy today. It seems to be a nice day out. It is the first day of spring officially at 6:58, I believe. 6:58. If you're keeping track on the board, is the official start of spring. So we'll see.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, we'll see what that means to everyone out there in the world. But that is that's what I hear. It's also a full moon tonight as well, and so could be quite a hectic start to spring with the full moon and the High Noon Hemp Show and all that. High above the hemp quarters in Sharonville,
getting people crazy. You can see,
and so
celebrating St. Patrick's Day. As I said before the show,
I
don't buy into societal constraints when it comes to holidays. If I feel like wearing a $1 hat with a whatever this is, a 3-leaf clover.
Yeah.
I'll see how lucky
no,
that is, I think it kind of gets the point across.
Yeah.
In kind of a half-assed way.
Well, you celebrate any way you want to. Who is to tell you how to celebrate? So
maybe 3-leaf clovers are very lucky for me. I don't know.
I expect to see that hat in like 3 months, and you can say that you're still celebrating St. Patty's Day, and it'll be okay. It's fine, And so, nothing really new. State of Ohio, just let everybody know we're still getting through this SB 57 thing. So again, call your representative, call your friends, call your neighbors. I don't know if they'll care or not. But tell your representatives that you support the part that is for agricultural farming in Ohio, and hemp. Agricultural farming, obviously, in Ohio, and the rest of it can go to waste. I think I wrote somewhere on some post or something, to tell them to leave 90% of it on the floor, literally, like just toss it into a corner, just leave it there, let the cleaning folks clean it up. It's job security for them. And so anyway, we just need to get the Department of Agriculture on board, legalize industrial hemp farming, and move forward. SB 57 would do that, but it has a bunch of gobbledygook in it, and tell them to get rid of all that. We don't need it. Representative Brent, I've been talking about her out of House District 12. She, too, I haven't officially heard that they've announced that she found a co-sponsor. She was relaying to us last week that she believes she had for her industrial hemp farm bill in the state of Ohio. And so we will pay close attention to that. Get a hold of your representative, like I said, and tell them that you support that when it happens. It shouldn't have any unnecessities. I'm not even sure that's a word, so I'm going to stop trying to say it. Things that are not necessary in it. It will not have those things. She just wants to make hemp farming available to the farmers in Ohio without a bunch of other stuff. Right before the show, my partner over there, the host, Joe Claire, he informed me that if you're sitting around watching right now, you can start a watch party with your friends. So explore how to do that on your Facebook units.
If you're watching the video, you should be able to hit share. Excuse me. And share brings up you can share with your friends, you can share in a group, which I guess would be helpful too if you know any hemp groups or you're members of any hemp groups.
Yeah.
You can also share it to a page and start a watch party. Now, I did a watch party a few weeks ago with my friends list. As I told Beach before the show, I think it might be a better idea if he started it with his friends. And what I gather is that it gives them notifications that says, Beach Yep has started a watch party. Come, watch, and you can all chat together and talk about how what you're watching is awesome. In this case, of course, it would be us and how awesome we are.
I just started a watch party.
There it is.
I
It
just
says
started
Beach
a
Chef
watch
is hosting
party.
a watch party,
Yeah.
and I got a
And
notification.
so,
There we
I
go.
don't know. We'll see what happens there. But
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to do the show and host a watch party at the same time. I find it tough enough to concentrate on the things that I have directly in front of me.
You just do the show normal.
But
and
anyway.
look over every once in a while let the praise.
Look at me
wash
go,
over
man.
you.
People have joined my watch party. I'm so excited.
See, there you go.
Okay. Well, thank you,
Now
everyone.
it's officially a party.
That's a new aspect to the High Noon Hemp Show every Wednesday
Technology.
at high noon here on the Hemptations Beach Facebook page. Watch parties. Who knew? They're going on. Join
right.
the party. It's a party
You want to
now.
get popcorn or whatever?
You know,
I know it's short notice, but you're-
we can add that to the title of
Whatever
the
you can
show.
do.
High Noon Hemp Show and party. And so,
by the way,
anyway,
before I
folks,
forget,
join. Welcome.
YouTube, Jedi Hemp. Make sure you subscribe to Jedi Hemp on YouTube. We're posting the shows up there on demand, shareable to other social media because, as you know, Facebook is not hospitable to sharing to other social media. So go check out the YouTube.
Go to YouTube.
Big things
Jedi
coming to
Hemp
YouTube.
channel.
Yes.
Big things coming to YouTube. That's right. Here we
By
go.
the way, and I didn't mention this before the show, Beach, but I wanted to, and I guess now is as good a time as any. We need some sort of theme song for the beginning of the show.
You know,
musical people. Why they're not on
I
this?
do know
why we haven't been
musical
flooded with them all
people.
overall yet? I don't know why.
I have GarageBand, and I have been trying to come up with something myself. Maybe you
Yeah.
have encouraged me to do that now. A little ditty. I had someone approach me. I was eating lunch at a restaurant, and I had someone approach me, and they came up to me and they said, "You guys need a jingle." And I'm like, what? They said, you guys need a jingle. I mean, they knew who I was from the commercials. And so they're telling me that Temptations needed a jingle. And I was like, yeah, you're right. Do you want to write that for me? That's what I said to him. I said, can you take care of that? I mean, that's a great idea. It's true. We do need a jingle, I suppose. And so, bing, 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 Temptations. No, I'm going to work. We do. And all my musical friends and talented people out there, I would love to hear a Temptations jingle, Temptations or a High Noon Hemp Show theme song.
Which could just be a
You
longer
know,
version of the jingle. Just kind of stretch the jingle out.
Could be. That's right.
It's more
Yeah,
of a-
yeah, right.
A fuller
So
instrumental
Well,
accompaniment
it's a
or
party.
whatever.
I expect
Right.
by the end of this party, we're going to have this thing done.
Gonna have music.
Everybody.
and maybe next week we'll get little hats and those little things you blow on, little party favors and all that. Really do it up. Big budget style.
Well, as I
this
said
happen.
last week, I want to make those noises. I have all this sound effect stuff on my phones, but then if I unmute my phones, then the phones are just going to disturb me. And so, that's too much. See, there I go again already, trying too much. So
Multitasking during the show.
it's true. All right, well, let's move on to the product spotlight now that we got this party started on the High Noon Hemp Show.
That's right.
Now, last week I mentioned we had covered 100 different products as far as brands go, which I think is amazing. That Hemptations has 100 different brands, so to speak. And so with that, we're kind of running out of specific brands. So I'm going to go back and pull specific, not Pacific. Some of them are from the Pacific Coast, but specific items from the store as far as individual items from brands. And the first one is probably the highest selling CBD product that we carry and have carried, made locally. It's the Queen City Hemp. I cannot even imagine how many bottles of this tincture we have sold since the first day that Queen City approached me. And so it is the most popular, probably, CBD product. People love it. People trust it. I had one customer. It was one of those rare times where we ran out. They had to try something else, and they were like, "Please get the Queen City back in." And it was only a day we were out. It just happened to be that one day where things just happened. And they have grown a lot, but their product is really good, very high quality in testing. And I think they're really trying to put the best product that they can out for the customers, for our customers. And so The next one is a pet toy that Josie has chosen to eat up quite a bit of these, but it's the old From the Field Tug-A-Hemps. And I can tell you, man, dogs love to chew on hemp. I have probably 3 or 4 of these of the biggest size that our 100-pound Doberman has chewed into a rag, but there's still some hemp left somehow. I don't know how they do it, but the dogs do love them. It is one of the more popular products as far as pet toys. Again, From the Field's been around for a very long time as well, and the Tug-A-Hemps have always been quite popular with the dog owners in the world. Going to the human owners, this is a terrible thing to say, taking care of themselves, the Manitoba Hemp Hearts. This is, again, something we have on the shelves all the time. One of the most popular hemp products as far as food goes. You can sprinkle it over your oatmeal or cereal or salad, just about anything, honestly. You got your protein, you got your omegas, great for the vegan diet, gluten-free, all that stuff. And again, one of the probably more popular food products that we have. Manitoba is so popular, they just got bought out for, I think it was 419 million Canadian money. It was like 300 something American US dollars. And so again, they were one of the pioneers, one of the first out there pushing the hemp foods. And it's still a product that we sell a lot of. And the last product from the store is somewhat new, but one of my favorites. I particularly picked this flavor of Hemptations lip balm, the grape, because I like grape. If I find a grape candy out there when I treat myself, I don't know. I've always just liked a grape candy, and it's kind of rare, honestly, to find grape flavored candies just because. But I do like it, and there's some Hemptations lip balm and the old grape flavor, SPS 15 for those sunny days that are coming up. Because as we know, spring has sprung, or spring will spring. Spring will spring at 6:58. So go out at 6:58 and go, thank you, spring, for coming. And then, do what else you got to do. So there's 4 from the store. The one from my door is a particular food product that I have found that I love recently. And that is a good old hemp butter and hemp jelly sandwich on hemp bread. And so, we have the jelly and the butter in the stores. The Three Bakers you may be familiar with if you shop at an all natural or cleaner grocery store, so to speak. But this is the Three Bakers Ancient Grains, hemp being one of those ancient grains, because hemp is an ancient grain, going back probably 4,000 to 6,000 years as a food product in China and India. And so there you have everything in the sandwich is got some hemp in it. Again, it's one of my favorite snacks. I toast the bread because you have to keep it frozen because it's that fresh that it'll sprout if you don't. You don't want your bread sprouting. Well, anyway, but you still got to eat it when it's fresh. And the jelly and the butter. And I have to say that now it's peanut hemp butter because it's like 50-50. And so there's just as much peanut as there is hemp in it, but it is probably the best one so far that I've found that still gives you that peanut butter flavor, but cuts down on the peanut butter with adding the hemp nut. So one of my favorite snacks. So there's 4 from the store, 1 from my door, as we say on the product spotlight.
Hemptations.com, of course, for locations. If you're, let's say if you're anywhere in the southwestern Ohio area, get to a location, maybe 2, I don't know. You're saying to yourself, well, what's the point of going to one then going to another? Well, maybe there's different stuff. I mean, there's something you
It's
can't
mostly the
find in one.
same, but you never know.
Yeah.
It's true.
Don't have one way to find
O'Brienville is kind of like the museum store too, because just the artwork hanging on the wall, and Sharonville just got stacked quickly, and so they do all have their own little identities,
Just go to all of them.
in one way or another. So it should be a challenge. It's a hemp challenge. I know I just discovered recently that, and this is the wrong kind of challenge to put it out there, but there is a road within a mile of the O'Brienville Hemptations. I believe it's probably within a mile, maybe. It's called Pipe Alley. So I thought I would start a challenge there. You start at Hemptations with a certain purpose, and then you go down to Pipe Alley, and move forward from there. It is on the river, and so
There you go.
could be fun.
Be a good alternate name for a show, Pipe Alley.
Pipe Alley. That's a good name for a show. It's true.
Let's talk about pipes all day.
Let's talk about pipes all day long. There's got to be a podcast out there called Pipe Alley. If there's not, there you go, folks. What a great idea. Yeah, give them away.
That's right. Gotta keep under wraps.
That's right.
Brings us to the best part of the show. Ton of people watching in the watch party. I will say, though, that the ton of people watching in the watch party does not translate to numbers
who's viewing
on the video. I have both screens up, and because I think the chats are different as well. Trying to see what the point is, other than a bunch of people watching. Hopefully, we get the credit for the people watching. And if not, it's just, I guess, the thought that counts. We know that you were watching, and that.
Next week, we expect all of them to start their own watch party. So next week, now that you've been brought into the watch party idea, watch the show, start your own watch party. And man, this thing's going nuts. Anyway, let's move on to...
They start a watch party and it just cascades into the internet.
It's going to snowball down when there's no snow.
And of course, they will see the greatest single segment ever produced or filmed or talked about or discussed on Facebook, the beachwear segment. Because everybody is always asking me, hey, what's beach wearing today? And I say, hey, leave me alone. Watch the show. Quit asking me questions.
Watch the show.
I'm not going to give you constant updates on what Beach is wearing. You just have to watch.
That's true. If you woke up this morning and you said to yourself, what are you wearing, Beach?
Hey, what are you wearing, Beach?
Well, today, Joe, let me tell you from head to foot, it's hemp, like always. We start off with Adidas hat. This is probably one of my first Adidas purchases. I've had this hat for a while. And so it's weird how, and I don't think I've ever worn these pants before. But man, I'm going to flake on who my jacket is. Oh, it's an Ecolutions jacket. I'm sorry. That's an Ecolution jean jacket from way back in the day, with a hemp company button down that we embroidered the hemp on. The Satori t-shirt I got from Pure Hemp, the rolling papers people, which is a nice little spot on for them. But the hemp corduroys, again, they were in the closet, and I was like, man, I very rarely wear those. And so broke out the old hemp corduroys by Hempies. Again, I've had them for a long time, very rarely wear them. But they really work with the shoes, the hat, and everything else. And so it kind of all came together with the natural socks. And the Levi's high tops. Those are made by good old Levi's. And Satori, I'm almost leaving them out with their boxer briefs. So if you woke up this morning, you said, what are you wearing, Beach? Now you know. And I don't know why my hat is on backwards now. This is probably the first show, 27th episode, I believe, of the show. But the very first show where I have worn my hat backwards. And
I'm sure there's some people out there, they're confused. They're like, what's going on here?
I know, they're like, wait a minute, that's not Beach. That can't be Beach.
Beach has a backwards hat. This other dude has a stupid 3-leaf clover hat on 3 days after St. Patrick's Day. Things are just falling apart.
Things are upside down on the old. The full moon's already affecting things.
Yes. Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's get on to a little bit of national and international hemp news and events. I feel like we're really flying through this show.
Indeed.
First of all, once again, I mentioned this last week. It's a party. The Colorado Department of Agriculture is looking for someone to lead their industrial hemp program. And so if you are in Colorado, I think you have to be a resident of Colorado for at least 2 to 3 years, I saw, to qualify. But if you're in Colorado and you know enough about hemp that you can lead their industrial hemp program, what a great job that would be. I would, if I was in Colorado, I would consider throwing my hat into that job. But
Hemp czar.
Hemp czar. They're looking for a hemp czar in Colorado. We're trying to bring back the word czar in a positive manner, folks, if you haven't noticed.
That's right.
Joe's doing his best. I think it was on his word of the day calendar last week.
Yes.
And he's really doing his best to bring it back.
A couple weeks ago, and now I'm squeezing in wherever I can.
I'm throwing it in there all the time. And so anyway, get that job. Go for it. The other thing's kind of interesting right now is the original maker of Jelly Bellies. Now, he sold Jelly Bellies very, very young in the company and made a decent amount of money, I think. But the original inventor of Jelly Bellies is now going to release a line of CBD jelly beans.
Wow.
So that's going to be interesting. I think it's, again, probably a great idea. Who doesn't love particular flavors of Jelly Bellies? Do not eat the sugar-free ones, because whatever they substitute for sugar in those is lethal to the body. Honestly, it does not affect the body well. I tried them once, and it was like, man, I might as well have eaten 3 bags of White Castles. I'm telling you, it was awful. And so at least get the real sugar Jelly Bellies, jelly beans. Don't get the fake sugar. Oh my God, sugar-free. Sugar-free is really a bad title. If you see sugar-free on the title of a food, then whatever they've substituted for the sugar is 10 times worse. It might not have any calories.
They were going to go with more carcinogenic, but instead they decided on less for sugar-free.
Yeah. So anyway, that's my side note rant on food product. But it should be interesting to have the old the inventor, because he didn't invent jelly beans. He just invented Jelly Bellies, which was, crazy flavors and this and that to the old dull line of jelly bean flavors that existed at the time, I suppose. And so that's kind of interesting. Everybody's into CBD. Everybody's into CBD. Everybody is into CBD.
Absolutely.
And ironically, that kind of ties into this next part in the news, where the United States Secretary of Agriculture, and this is a direct quote from him, says, this is about hemp. Farmers in the United States are so productive they could crash this market before it gets off the ground, adding that he's seen this type of hype around other crops before, which makes me say, what other crop became so popular so quick in the United States that it crashed the market? I'm sorry that I'm yelling here, folks, but this just drives me nuts.
You forget the great corn craze of 2011.
Seriously, what agricultural crop crashed a market? We have $1 billion subsidies for crap where they don't grow stuff. And this guy is saying that industrial hemp is so productive, his words, so productive, that he's afraid they're going to crash the market. And so I'm like, I just don't even know what to make of such an ignorant statement. I mean, what is the actual worst that happens? There's really too much hemp, and it's so cheap that we get to enjoy it for the price we should be able to enjoy it for. I mean, what do we tell Kentucky? Holy shit, Kentucky! I'm sorry I cussed on the show. Stop growing hemp, you guys are just going crazy with this stuff, and you just can't do that. Don't be so successful. Stop being so successful. And I just,
That's why these people are in government.
it really is just. It always makes me question things so much again that it just blows me away that that you could even make such a statement. And I get it. I mean, the big warning out there is know where you're going to invest your hemp, know where you're going to take your hemp. Have an end result, blah, 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 just like any product out there, just like any other agricultural cup. The guy that grows corn knows who he's going to sell his corn to at the end of the year. And so if you want to become a hemp farmer, then obviously you want to know where you're going to go with that end product. If you're going to grow a lot of it, I want to grow an acre each of fiber, food, and CBD. That's it. And so, what I figure, I'm not too worried about what I'm going to do with the end result of it. I just want to grow an acre of each just to do it, in the state of Ohio, which we can't do yet. And we need to work on and get there. And so I can apply for my license. I saw I would assume CBD plants coming out of Kentucky are going for about $6 a piece, under $1,000. $4 a piece if you buy 1,000 of them. And so again, this industry is booming. I am sure that they will find a place to go with somewhere of those in some industrial hemp state, or be grown in, I think I saw Kentucky and Colorado for sure. I think they're coming out of Kentucky. And so, demand is up. Supply is up. The market isn't even close to crashing yet. I can tell you that right now because of demand. Because if you're growing for CBD, the demand is there. If you're growing for grain, the demand is there. I mean, this is almost like, I remember the governor of Colorado came out right after, a year after, maybe 6 months after they had legalized recreational and started that program, and he was like, "Oh, I don't know if states should do this. It's a little this, a little that. He didn't say it was bad. He didn't say the crime was up or anything like that. It was kind of like a vague warning, and he was just trying to keep his investment. He was like, we're making billions. The tax revenue from this alone is going to be insane." And so I'm just going to be like, oh, yeah, I don't know if everybody should do this. But, not once did he say we're going to shut it down. Not once.
Yeah. Thank you to Philip and Teresa watching in the watch party. You all are awesome.
Awesome.
Whether
Thank
you're
you.
watching the watch party or not.
Right. I don't see the
that
comments
the watch party
now
people
like I used to.
are, more important than anything, but they're in a different spot, apparently. Facebook is weird.
It is weird.
But they're watching, and that's what matters.
But great. Thank you, everyone, for watching.
If you have questions,
High Noon Hemp Show,
pop them in the chat area.
Yeah. Any questions out there, let us know. Again, every show is put on YouTube after. They're always here on the Hemptations Beach page every Wednesday. You can also go to hemptations.com, where we have the events. First page is events that directly relate to Hemptations or myself. Second page, we have all the events that I mentioned on the High Noon Hemp Show, which we're about to start now. There's quite a bit going on as far as hemp events. It seems like across the country and the world, now that spring's kind of hit. And so this weekend, the March 23rd is the Michigan Hemp Biz Symposium that I've been talking about. I just found out, and I would have pimped this a little bit more if I would have known, that Lissa Satori is going to be a speaker there. Lissa and I go back all the way back to the Ohio Rights Group. I watched her come into the cannabis world as a warrior. She is continuing to do so. She was a big part of Michigan's legalization, great representation of cannabis. And so she's a speaker at the Michigan Hemp Biz, which is going on March 23rd. And then in a week, biggest hemp event on the planet. I don't want to say planet so far because there may be some other ones in Europe that we just don't know about related to hemp. But NOCO got so big it had to move to Denver, March 29th to 30th. I know the Governor Polis is actually speaking at this event. There's going to be as much hemp and hemp knowledge anywhere that you can find at NOCO 6. This is the 6th NOCO, and it is huge, representing hemp for 6 years now in Colorado, and this event has done nothing but grow. So it's worth traveling to. We traveled out there to NOCO 3, I believe it was, or NOCO 2, I don't remember. And it was worth it then, and it's worth it even more now. So that's next weekend, March 29th, March 30th. Again in Denver, you've got NOCO 6 going on. April 6th, from 2 to 8 p.m., you got John Patterson Hemp Building Experience in Phoenix, Arizona. So you can go to hempfulfarms.com for more information on that. April 7th, you've got a Hemp Connections event from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the La Plata County Fairgrounds in Durango, Colorado. You can go to kindhempco.com. So it's kindhempco.com and get more information on that event if you're going to be in the Durango, Colorado area in April. April 13th, 14th in Louisville, we've got the National Hemp Expo. And so, again, more information on that online. That's going to be a pretty decently sized event, I think, just in Louisville around the corner from Cincinnati. You've got a Cleveland Hemp Expo, April 28th, which I will be speaking. I'll be giving my keynote presentation at the Cleveland Hemp Expo, April 28th at the Odeon. April 25th to the 27th, you've got a Hempcrete building experience. This is a Tiny Hemp Houses. You can go to tinyhemphouses.com to get more information on their stuff. And so that is a couple 3-day event. And the Hempcrete stuff, again, people really want to learn about Hempcrete and building with Hempcrete these days. And so those events are pretty big. April 26th to the 28th in West Virginia, you've got a hemp symposium. And this is going to be one day. They're going to do a cooking with cannabis. They're going to do a paper making event. They're going to do a Hempcrete workshop. And so you can go to patchadams.org for more information on that event that's going to happen in Hillsboro, West Virginia, April 26th and 28th. Another Hemp Biz Conference, or the Hemp Biz Conference. I'm sorry. The Hemp Biz Conference, they put on the hemp symposiums. I don't think that they're actually putting on the one I just mentioned, but they're doing the Michigan Hemp Biz Symposium that I mentioned Lissa's speaking at. But the actual Hemp Biz Conference in Denver, Colorado is May 1st and 2nd. May 2nd and 4th, this is something to plan ahead for, is Hemp on the Bayou at Jazz Fest. This one keeps like calling me. Like every time I think about this event, I'm like, I kind of want to go to that. Not that I want to deal with the crowds of Jazz Fest, but to go to something called Hemp on the Bayou at Jazz Fest in New Orleans seems very appealing to me, to be honest with you. I like going to New Orleans when there's nothing going on, because there's always something going on in New Orleans. But when there's nothing going on, it's just kind of everyday New Orleans and everyday tourism. It's a great little city, from the food to the architecture to all kinds of things. And so Hemp on the Bayou. Say, ooh, that's good. Go over here, get myself a little hemp. Oh, yeah. That was my best impression of the Cajun Cook for all those people out there who knew the Cajun Cook is. My mom used to watch the Cajun Cook. He used to put wine in everything, so I replaced the wine with hemp. Ooh-wee, a little wine in there. Ooh-wee, that's good. Oh, shoot. And then first week of June, Hemp History Week, 3rd through the 9th. And so that is all the news and events going on this week's High Noon Hemp Show. If anybody has any questions out there, get them to me. Hi, Michelle. everyone that's commenting. The comments kind of come and go, but there's a lot of people that have joined and are watching my watch party, and I really appreciate that.
Feels like a party.
Again, you can watch it live every Wednesday at high noon on the High Noon Hemp Show, where we go through our regular agenda with my partner over there, Joe Claire, aka Stoner Jesus. Again, hemptations.com for all the hemp store info and all that. Email me, Facebook me questions on hemp or anything relative to that matter, or not relative. I may or may not answer.
Anything.
Looks like
out there.
lifelong friend Philip Parks is one. Man, I can't. This is amazing how many people we have that have joined the watch party. Watch this week's episode of the High Noon Hemp Show. So it looks like every week you can either start your own watch party or you can join my watch party of me doing the show, which seems paradoxical, but
make it a
so
thing.
be it.
Everybody do watch parties.
Everybody do watch parties.
And then just get other people that come in, badger them, and make them start watch parties.
That's right.
I think we get like 10 or 12 levels of watch parties. We can really get this thing going.
I think you're right. The multi-dimensional watch party effect to the High Noon Hemp Show could be incredible. So again, thanks everybody. That's right. We have
Jedi Hemp on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to Jedi Hemp on YouTube for the episodes on demand. One day, there may be a switch from where we are live. Right now we're on Facebook. It seems like the best place, even with its weirdness. But you never know. If we can find a better platform, obviously, for people watching and the shareability and all that, we would consider that. So go subscribe on YouTube. And maybe something will come there too. We have big parties. Maybe they have big YouTube parties. I don't know. They need to work on that. However that works over there.
They probably do too. Now that we've got this party thing worked out. Thanks again, everybody. I am Beach. That is Joe. This was the High Noon Hemp Show. Reduce, reuse, recycle. Make everything else out of hemp. Having Hemptations.
See y'all next week.